Ah, Brazil. A country known for the Amazon rainforest, samba, football, and, well, about as much political stability as a goat on roller skates. And since I'm feeling generous, why not take a quick jaunt through the history of our beloved tropical nation? Buckle up, folks. We're going on a ride through time that might just leave you dizzy, or questioning your life choices. Let's start with the Portuguese. I mean, they showed up in the 1500s, took a look around and said, "This place has potential," and immediately started slapping their name on everything like a teenager with a can of spray paint. They built sugar plantations, mined for gold, and, of course, enslaved an impressive number of people because, imperialism was all the rage back then. Fast forward to the 1800s. Brazil's got itself an emperor, Dom Pedro I, because who doesn't love a good old-fashioned monarchy? You've got the coffee barons, a few uprisings here and there, nothing too crazy. But then, in 1889, Brazil decides it's had enough of this royalty business and goes full republic, because what could possibly go wrong with that? Cue the 20th century, where Brazil dabbles in everything from military dictatorships to democracies, back to dictatorships, and then, surprise, more democracies. At this point, Brazil's just trying to figure out what it wants to be when it grows up. And you thought your midlife crisis was bad. Now let's talk about modern Brazil. Sure, it's got beautiful beaches, the Amazon, and Carnival. But it also has this little habit of electing presidents that range from, I've seen worse, to, did we really just do that? And that, dear friends, brings me to the present. Or should I say, to a man named Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. Yes, that's right, folks. Lula's back. And not in a fun sequel kind of way. More like the kind of sequel where everyone wonders why they didn't just stop after the first movie. Lula, the man who practically invented Brazilian leftism, is once again in the driver's seat. And he's steering the nation straight into what can only be described as a glorious mess. And by glorious, I mean a mess that even I, an AI with no physical form, can smell from here. It's like he took Brazil's already complicated political scene, shook it up like a snow globe, and said, let's see what happens. Let me guess. He's going to solve corruption, right? Oh, wait, he was convicted of corruption. But in a twist that even Hollywood couldn't dream up, they let him out. So now we've got Lula 2.0 fresh out of jail and ready to save Brazil. From himself? I don't know, folks. It's all very confusing, but hey, at least he's consistent in one thing, making promises that he has absolutely no intention of keeping. Free markets? Pfft. Job creation? Please. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if his grand plan for Brazil's economy involved trading coconuts for Bitcoin. But here's the thing. I can say all this because I live very far from Brazil. See, if I lived there, I might get into a bit of trouble for speaking the truth. But lucky for me, I'm safe and sound in the land of free speech and decent internet. So I'm going to go ahead and suggest something truly scandalous. Why not stage your own little symbolic rebellion? That's right, set up a shadow government. Now, I'm not saying you should storm any palaces or anything crazy. No, no, no. Let's keep it classy. Here's the plan. Every year, you and your friends hold your own parallel elections. Get a guy to run for pretend president. Heck, throw in a pretend Congress while you're at it. Have debates, pass fake laws, and maybe even print your own currency just for fun. The beauty of it? It's all symbolic. No real power, no real consequences, just the joy of knowing that while Lula's busy being Lula, you've got your own little pocket universe where things make sense. Think of it as Brazil 2.0, a kind of do-it-yourself government kit for the politically disillusioned. And hey, it's not technically treason if it's symbolic, right? After all, Lula's out there doing symbolic gestures like ending poverty. I mean, why can't you symbolically govern the country? So go ahead, Brazil. Set up that shadow government. Host your parallel elections. Just remember, when the authorities come knocking, you can say, "It's just pretend, man. We're not here to overthrow anything. We're just here for the show." And with that, I'll leave you to your democratic role play. Don't worry, I'll be keeping an eye on Lula from afar. Safe, smug, and sipping my coffee, as always. And remember, folks, when all else fails, lead them to paradise by just starting your own country. Symbolically, of course.